your nurse today. I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands and put on a pair of gloves. Can you verify your name and your date of birth? Okay, perfect, that matches. Okay, I'm here just to do a postpartum assessment. Since we've already took your vital signs and done your head to toe assessment, we're just going to do a focused postpartum assessment, if that's okay. Is that alright? Okay, I'm going to make sure you're laying flat on your bed, which you are. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and assess your breast. Are you breastfeeding? You are? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and feel and make sure there's no lumps and there's no redness or warmth to the touch. I'm going to check on your nipples and make sure they're not cracked or dry, which they don't look like it. If you have that problem, just let us know because we might have some things to put on them for you. So just let us know if that's a problem. I see that you're wearing a supportive bra, which is great for breastfeeding. If you weren't breastfeeding, we wanted to make sure you wore a tight-fitting bra and no stimulation. But for you, for breastfeeding moms, that is perfect. We want you to wear a supportive bra. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at your abdomen, which it is still rounded, which is fine and normal. I'm going to listen to your bowel sounds. Have you had your first bowel movement yet or passed any gas? Okay, you have. That's great. Okay. Okay. Bowel sounds are present in all 4 quadrants, which is normal. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to assess the incision site since you had a C-section. Okay, I'm going to pull back. I'm going to look at it. The incision site looks good. It's well approximated on the edges. There's no signs of drainage or there's no signs of redness or irritation or no signs of infection, which is great. This is what we want. Okay, while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and palpate your fundus. I'm going to make sure my hand is supporting the uterus at the bottom. And I'm going to massage the fundus. It should be firm, which it is, which is really good. I'm going to note the location and make sure that it's appropriate for the time being. Okay. And while I'm down here, I'm going to go ahead and check your peri area. I'm going to check your lochia. It looks like you have a moderate amount of rubia lochia, which is normal. Do you have any problems, foul odor smelling, or your lochia changes and it goes back to bleeding a lot or a different color? Just make sure you notify your provider and they'll let you know if that's normal or not. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to wash my hands again, take off my gloves and wash my hands. Okay. And now I'm going to assess your legs. Okay, I'm going to assess the pulses behind your knee. Okay, both of them are strong and regular. I'm going to go ahead and assess your pedal pulses. Okay, great. I'm going to feel your legs and make sure there's no warm or hot areas or redness, or make sure there's nothing in that. Have you had any pain in your calves? No? Okay, perfect. Okay. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and roll you over to your back, and I'm going to check your incision site where your epidural went in, and it looks like there's no drainage, no leakage, and everything looks perfect. It doesn't look like there's any infection. While I'm here, I'm going to check and make sure there's no hemorrhoids, which is great. There's no hemorrhoids. Okay, and just a few teaching aspects that I want to go over with you. I'm going to wash my hands before, so if you have any frequency or burning during urinating, make sure that you let a provider know. And some teaching aspects for your baby. Do you have a car seat yet? You do? Okay. Is it new or used? New? Okay, perfect. If it was used, we wanted to make sure that the expiration date was good on it and it hadn't been in a car accident. But since it's new, that's great. It's perfect. Some things that we want to go over that are important are how to prevent SIDS, which is sudden infant death syndrome. We want to make sure that every time the baby is asleep that we want to lay it on a firm mattress and lay him in his own crib. Now that may be hard, but we want to lay him by himself and make sure he's laying on his back. We want to make sure there's no stuffed animals, no blankets, and no bumpers for the cribs or anything like that that could be in the crib that could affect the baby's breathing pattern when he's asleep. Then that's just to prevent SIDS. Another thing that we want to prevent is shaking baby syndrome. I know being a new mom is hard and going through the postpartum period, but we want to make sure that our baby is safe and healthy. If something's going on and it's just too much and your baby's crying, make sure you place him in his crib and just walk away for a minute and take a break and take a few deep breaths. No baby has ever been harmed from crying too much, and everything will be okay. Another thing that we want to make sure, which I've already went over, is make sure you notify your provider if you notice any redness or hard lumps or anything like that in your breast area. That could be a sign of mastitis, which is an infection, and we want to get that controlled right away. Another thing is about the lochia. Make sure if there's any setbacks or any questions that you have about that, make sure you notify your provider. Another thing is make sure that you notify your provider if you run a temperature of 100.4 or greater. And I think that's about it. Do you have any questions for me? I'm going to go ahead and wash my hands again just in case. Do you have any questions? Okay, no, great. Well, your call out is in place, and if you have any questions, just get a hold of me. Thank you.